All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Many Last Words podcast. This is Bill here with another lead off. The reason being, I'm not just talking football with Peyton this week, I'm also talking some quick Cubs stuff after all the football stuff. We had some acquisitions the past few weeks that are too big for me not to mention, so we'll go into that a little later on. So for right now, we'll start with Peyton. So thanks for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Appreciate you all. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Many Last Words podcast. I am joined again by my good friend Peyton. We got our producer Sunny on the side. She's making sure everything stays in line. Peyton, we're finally fully into the new year, 2026. Everybody's back at
hmm
school. We're back at work. We're all slowly marching to the end, near or far, whatever it is. That's just the way it is. Welcome back. How you feeling? How's everything been?
Feeling great, bro. Happy to be back on the pod. Happy to be back to a level of normalcy. Um, Not happy about the turnout for my football season, but we'll dive into that in a second. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great, dude. This is wedding week for me and Fran. I'm gonna have my family flying in tomorrow afternoon, so I'll be picking them up from LAX. I, what are your thoughts about people that say like, I really have to love you to pick you up from the airport? Like, I don't think it's that big of a deal.
I always pick people up from the airport, so to me that's just kind of weird, like to respond like that, to be honest.
I've always thought it was
Um,
weird. Yeah.
yeah, like I've heard the saying. I think it's people like, I mean, even like friends. I remember Rachel, good friend of ours, from high school, um, told me one time that they were charging her like it was like right after COVID
Mhm.
down here in Texas, and she was coming from DFW, so the further airport to like downtown area,
Yeah.
and I think she was getting charged like at the time like 55, 60, excuse me. And I was like, do not pay that. I will pick you up. Just buy me like lunch or something. And
Yeah.
so we literally drove through Popeyes and she got me food on the way back. Like it's
Nice.
ridiculous what um these companies for like Uber and Lyft and shit are charging. Like you should be a friend. Like take care of your people. Like if we don't
Right.
have community, then what do we have?
I always check as soon as I land what an Uber or Lyft would be, and it's always
Mhm.
over $90. And I'm like,
90?
fuck that. Yeah,
That's crazy.
that is crazy. I only live like 10 miles away from the airport.
Nah, see. So who usually picks you up?
There's a pretty convenient there's a bus that picks you up from LAX, drops you off at the Van Nuys airport. It's like a little regional one. That
Hmm.
airport has a really big parking lot. Pay
Keep
like
your car
six
there.
dollars a day,
Hmm.
and it's like $10 each way on the bus. So that's the way I do it.
That's smart. So it's
No,
like
yeah.
about $26. Well, depending on how long you're gone for.
Mhm.
Um, that's actually really that's a smart move. How far is that regional airport from your crib?
Like 5 miles away.
Okay, that's smart. Even if you want to just Uber from there, it'll probably still be way cheaper
I think
at
I
that
did it
point.
recently, and it was like 15, $20.
Yeah, that doesn't. They're just taxing because it's LAX, bro. That's actually
Hmm.
criminal. I'm sorry to hear that.
It's all right,
I thought I
but
was complaining with 60 at DFW.
yeah, no, it's a whole different animal out here.
Yeah.
But thankfully, my family won't have to worry about that. I got them. Got them safely to the in-laws' house. They're staying with them for the week
Hmm.
through Sunday, and yeah, big days on Sunday. We'll be getting married at 11, and plenty of time to buffer until 3:30 our time.
There you go.
We
How
were
are
a
you
little
feeling?
worried. We were a little worried
How about the game? Not being
about the
able to see
game.
it?
Yeah, because if it was the early game, we would have only had like an hour between like.
Dog, you're getting married. Focus
I
on your
know,
wedding.
correct. Oh, I know the priorities here. But my father-in-law is a big Rams fan. Also,
Really?
he's big into it.
Oh,
So
so you guys are playing.
correct.
You guys are talking shit. That
Uh,
sounds fun as hell.
yeah, it's respectful. But yeah, he wants his team, I want mine. But yeah, we're really looking forward to it. I know Fran's been kind of stressed about it. Having, I'm sure you're familiar with it. All these people giving you like all their opinions about how things should be, but
Hmm.
can't really lose sight of the fact that it's our day. It's going to be the people
Hmm.
that we love. Um,
Hmm.
Only 30 people at this, but it's 30 very important people, as my barber reminded me. Um,
Absolutely.
and they're there for us. Whatever the facilities are, whatever, food we get, whatever it is, it's all the second thing they think about. First thing is just us and celebrating what we
Bro, none
built.
of that shit matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally none of that matters. As long as you are happy, as long as more importantly, Fran is happy, since it's as much as we want to say it's our day, it's their day.
Mm,
And so anything, everything that she feels like she's getting, um, is the most important thing.
mm,
You are obviously 1B in that scenario,
that's right.
uh, not the 1A, but
For this one.
um, yeah, for this one. So I'm excited for her first and foremost. I'm excited for my friend and my brother in Wild Bill. I
Thank you.
think that you guys are gonna have a lovely time. It could be just two people, like witnesses. It could be you, your best man, or her best woman, and nobody else, and you guys would still have a hell of a time. Because your guys' love is real and authentic. So I'm excited for you, bro. It's gonna
Thank
be
you.
a
I,
good
I
time.
appreciate those words.
Of
And I
course.
know Fran will listen to this and she'll appreciate it also. So I'll extend an early thank you on her behalf.
Of course.
Yeah, man. So anything new on your end or just the huge getting back into the swing of it?
No, nothing new on my end. Um, we ended up shipping a lot of our honeymoon gifts finally because the way that the app, not honeymoon, I keep saying honeymoon, wedding gifts, got shipped to us. Um, and I had to take out the trash recycle today, and it's like boxes overload from all the stuff that we finally got in, and I just feel like it's a never-ending recycling. So that sucks, but that's the only thing I'm dealing with.
It's not the worst thing to deal with, but yeah, you got a good box cutter or not really? You're using like the kitchen
A knife,
scissors.
either a knife or my keys. Yeah.
And thankfully, Fran gets given a box cutter every like 6 months at Trader Joe's because they use a
Really?
lot. So we got a bunch laying around that are high quality.
I would say bring me one, but then you can't do that on a plane. They might think
That's
you're
true, unless you check the bag. But yeah, they'll look at me
sure.
a little sideways. Already got a few strikes against me here.
Same. I'm with you.
So maybe we'll ask one of the Trader Joe's out there to gift us one on credit. Visit us and we'll give you one out here.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We could do that. But no, man, let's dive in. I'm
Let's do it.
excited to hear your thoughts about the Chicago Bears defeating the Green Bay Packers. Go ahead, Bill.
So just real quick for those listening, trigger warning, I'm gonna cuss a lot. I am gonna be the most classless person. There's a lot of time that got drilled into me that our team is not good by that team up north. And I'm gonna let it all out. So I'll insert a timestamp into the YouTube and I'll also put in like a time to skip over if you don't want to hear that. Right here. 12:48. And so here it is. Fuck the Packers. Fuck their fans. Fuck all those crybaby ass bitches on ESPN Milwaukee talking about if Jordan Love was the Bears quarterback, they'd win the division easily. If Jared Goff was the quarterback, they'd win the division easily. Caleb Williams isn't good. Oh, dude, what a way to shove it up their ass. I loved it. I loved every little bit of it, especially the fourth quarter. I think I said a total of about 10 words up until the fourth quarter because obviously not a great start. Three straight offensive drives for Green Bay with three touchdowns and only could muster up 3 points up through halftime. I think the grand total of points the Bears scored on Green Bay through the three games in the first quarter, first half, 6 points all season.
Damn.
Second half, I think it was like 68-70.
Whew.
So that is a massive indictment on the programming going on in the Green Bay Packers locker room. I know Matt LaFleur has gotten a lot of slights recently for the way that he coaches in the second half with the lead. I think it would be very dumb of them, like as subjective as I can be, or rather objective, to look in a different direction for a head coach. He's been a really good head coach. I don't think they need to make adjustments in that regard. I think a lot of it has to do with kind of just the philosophy, and I think it's an easy fix, as much as I hate to say it. They have the personnel and they have the right minds in that building, which makes it even
Hmm.
fucking better that they shit the bed against the Bears. That fourth and eight is a down and distance that's very familiar to Bears fans. I don't know if you remember this, Peyton. It was the year 2013, week 17. Bears
Hmm.
and Packers in Chicago. Both teams were 8-7. Winner would win the division, go to the playoffs. Bears were winning by, I believe, a point. They had Aaron Rodgers at fourth and eight. midfield. Chris Conti blew the coverage, and Randall Cobb built his
I
entire
do remember
legacy
this.
off of that play.
I do remember
Fourth
that.
and 8. Scored a touchdown
Slant up the middle. Well, took off running for like 50 yards.
for 13 years. Fourth and 8 has haunted me. And what happened on this Saturday night on Amazon? Fourth and 8, Caleb Williams. They don't convert this. It's basically game over with 5 minutes left. Rolling to the left, feet off the ground, floats it over 3 defenders to Roma Dunze, 20 some yards down the field. And that felt it felt like such a weight coming off our chest of years of having Green Bay Packer fans just shit down our throat, telling us the Bears still suck, telling us that we'll never amount to anything. Our coaches suck. That shit that Ben Johnson talked at the beginning of his introductory press conference, saying that he loves to beat Matt LaFleur twice a year, and he got the opportunity and did it. It's so nice, dude. I've really been fucking up my dopamine receptors the past couple days because all I've done is seen all my like Bears reporters, all the fans, my entire algorithms, people just shitting on Green Bay and the Green Bay Packers media outlets just crying like little pussy ass bitches that they are. And it's been amazing. So, obviously it meant a lot to the city of Chicago. The stadium was bumping. There was a couple delay of games and a false start on the final drive that really factored into it. The kicker couldn't hit 2 field goals and an extra point, so that was an entire 7 points. It was just everything all at once. Everything all at once. The fourth quarter comeback, 25 points unanswered. Well, besides that one, Matthew Golden's first touchdown of the season in the fourth quarter. Their first round pick didn't score until the fourth quarter of their final game, which I think
That's
is a little
disgusting.
interesting.
That's disgusting.
I think it's pretty funny. And in spite of the early game, the way that the defense looked, giving up those long drive touchdowns, they came up with big stops in the second half. Got to give them credit where it's due. Did just enough to force the final heave down the field into the front of the end zone, which I think played a lot into Kyler Gordon's ability to knock the ball down. If Jordan
Mhm.
Love gets a better throw up there, it's a 50-50 ball. Who knows what happens? I've seen bad things happen. Case in point, the Commanders game last season. I was a little worried about that, but in the end, fuck them. They're packing their bags. They're wondering what the fuck happened. And hopefully those questions never get answered. Fuck them.
They gotta go live in cold Green Bay.
Mm-hmm. And do what? Nothing.
Nothing. Eat at
Nothing.
the local IHOP.
Tough.
I love your recount. I love your synopsis of the game.
Mm-hmm.
That is passion at its finest. Um, that game was electric from start to finish. Um, I know how it feels to have large comebacks like that. Um, especially like a fourth quarter comeback like that. That is especially against your rival. Like the Eagles have the Miracle in the Meadowlands Part Two when
Mm-hmm.
Deshaun Jackson returned the late punt to score with like 10 seconds left on the clock. So I know what that and that was in the playoff game. That was just a regular season game, but it was to keep our season alive.
That's
So
right. The
I
Christmas
could
lights.
not imagine um this happening in the playoffs against my like actual bitter rival, like the Cowboys or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm tip of the cap to Ben Johnson and that team and never blinking and keeping up the fight through halftime because hey, we play the game for 4 quarters, man. It is not a 1/2 game, and that is now 2 times in Matt LaFleur's career giving up that type of lead. Once with Atlanta, people were started to point out on social media after the game that he was the offensive coordinator for Atlanta when they gave up the 28-3 in the Super Bowl to the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
And then now in the playoffs to the Chicago Bears and Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, hey, I don't like Drake, but Caleb is Iceman. Um,
That's it.
that man, and the thing is, this is really for all the folks out there that were making fun of him last year. Oh, we drafted a guy, painted nails. He's crying to his mom on the sidelines. He's doing this, he's doing that. This is what happens when you get competent coaching. And that's going to play into my next point. We start talking about the Eagles, but we're going to stick right here with the Chicago Bears. Competent coaching, man. Ben Johnson is truly a once in a generation coach, and
Mhm.
you're seeing what confidence mixed with preparation and details comes out to be. So to your point, what you said, his introductory press conference, I love the talking shit. I love the confidence. And then for him to come throughout the season and back it up, struggled at first, but was trying to figure out the identity of the team, who he had, what personnel he liked using, and then boom, you guys hit a run since your bye week, and you guys haven't looked back. Hell of a way to look at this team, a hell of a way to look at your season, and continued success. Hey, I would love for y'all to beat the Rams.
Oh, dude,
They
it's
talked a
you
lot of shit
get
since last year. Um, 49ers, I hope they get bounced as well. Like at this point, I growing up, I didn't like a lot of Bears fans. So, like I've mentioned on this podcast before, I like
mhm.
that you've always been consistent. But most Bears fans are fair weather fans, and it's annoying to deal. So I'm not cheering for anyone for the remainder of the season. I'm just cheering for good ball to be played. But I would like for the Niners and the Rams to be knocked out specifically. Anyone else, I really don't give a shit about.
Okay.
I just want to see good ball being played.
That's pretty fair. That's pretty
Yeah.
fair. Yeah, dude, Ben Johnson, I think a lot of people, a lot of Chicago fans are identifying with him. He seems like a blue collar guy. He's,
Yeah.
yelling "fuck the Packers" to himself in his office. He's yelling
Love
"fuck
that.
the Packers" in front of the cameras, right before his speech. That
It,
handshake, I loved. He was just like,
and
"Fuck
getting
you."
permission and getting permission from the owners to be like, yeah, we've talked. It's fuck the Packers.
Yep.
Like that's comedy.
It's I hate to say it on Ole Miss Virginia, but she was holding on to that old school shit for too long, way too long. So it's a testament to George's ability, the chairman, to want to adapt, because we
Hmm.
get it. You can't say no to mom,
Hmm.
you know,
Hmm.
and his ability to like go in a complete different direction than what the Bears had done in the past, and it's paying dividends right now. I mean, you got the guy under center, you got some dudes up front on the O line. There will be a new left tackle starting next game. Ozzy Trapillo had a broken fibula, tibula, one of those big bones. I don't know if he's going to be
Yeah.
back for next season. Um, and we got the Rams coming in on below freezing temperatures.
Ooh,
It's a really nice day in LA right now. It's 75 degrees. It's warm. It's nice, sunny. It's not going to be anything like that when you come
they're
into
not gonna be
Soldier
used to
Field on
that.
the lakefront. So
Especially with not even Matt Stafford. I mean, I know he played in Detroit, but he played indoors.
they did play indoors.
Um, so this will be definitely a test. They did not fare well when it came to the Eagles last year when it was cold and snowing. So that definitely is a help for the Chicago Bears being able to actually practice throughout the week in a similar climate. But hey,
Yeah,
man,
yeah,
tip
that's
of the
right.
hat to you guys. Um, Jordan Love, what can you say now about his career at this point? He's got
Win.
one big blowout win in Dallas. That's it. Like,
Who doesn't?
touche. So at this point, it's just like, you signed him to a big contract, so you're stuck with him at least for next year, maybe the next 2 years. But
Love to see it.
do you start to think maybe trade assets for him, or because if you can't win the big one, I mean, like people are gonna get fired, man.
Yeah, they
Um,
trade they traded a first for Micah, and who knows how he's going to look at the beginning of next season. Also,
yeah. Same thing with Trayvon Diggs. Only got a few snaps, didn't look very good. So we'll see what that team ends up rounding out to be next year. But hey, we're still focused on this year, or at
that's
least
right.
you are. So
We got a game on Sunday.
I'm happy for you, man. Win and move on. Want to
Let's do
know?
it. Let's do it. Looking forward to it. So let's shift over to, unfortunately, the Eagles. Uh, the game that they played on Sunday afternoon against
Yeah,
the
man.
49ers. What are your thoughts?
So I'm happy that one half of the pod got to be happy this weekend.
Thank you.
Um, it was a frustrating watch, as an Eagles fan because all of the things that AJ Brown, Arthur Juan Brown said throughout the season, um, came to fruition in the playoffs. And he said, and he literally predicted that. He said, "We can't keep doing this shit, thinking that in the playoffs we won't get bounced." And exactly what happened. Yes, he had a crucial drop, but then we still were able to move the sticks with a first down on a fourth down from Dallas Goddard. Jalen Hurts to Dallas Goddard, and 4th and 9, I think it was, on a dig route. Um, caught it, moved the six anyway after the third down drop by AJ. Um, we had opportunities, man, to win that game. And I do believe that the players believe that they would win it. But damn, man, it still hurts to think about. Open up the game with a decisive drive by the 49ers, picking on Quinyon Mitchell, APQ, All Pro Quinyon, and score on him, man. Didn't look good. Quinyon then went on to put on a teaching tape on how to play the position at corner, getting himself two interceptions in the game and really just locking up that boundary corner position. Um, but it just wasn't enough. On those turnovers, we did shit with them. Um, didn't, I don't, if, to my knowledge, we didn't get any points off of the turnovers. Um, Kittle gets hurt in the second quarter. Their backup tight end still routes us the fuck up. Like it all boils down to, and as a previous quarterback that threw interceptions and wasn't the greatest turnover, had a lot of turnover on downs. You can only rely on a great defense for so long.
Right.
Vic Fangio did everything that he could, but if you're not putting the points on the board, at least having sustainable drives to give your defense a break, they're gonna like it's not gonna be able to keep up forever. And that's what we saw. 3 and outs by Kevin fucking Patullo. And this podcast, thank God, will be the last that I have to mention his name.
That's right.
He is a dipshit. I'm so happy that he's fired. We're recording on January 14th at 3:29 currently. I am so happy that Kevin Patullo is fired. Got fired yesterday, January 13th, and we are on the search for his replacement. However, from some of the way that it was termed, it was that he was removed from his position. I'm hoping the dumbass was fired.
Mm-hmm.
He should not be back with the Eagles in any capacity because not only is he a bad coach, he also had been leaking reports to Ryan Fitzpatrick and their like on off TV team. He's on the same team as Richard Sherman on air. I think they do the prime games if
Yeah,
I'm
the
not
prime
mistaken.
games. That's right.
And Richard Sherman came out on his podcast and straight up said, yeah, like Fitzpatrick and Kevin Patullo are old friends. Either they played together or Patillo coached him or something along those lines. Um, and throughout the season, Fitz would never obviously give up who was telling him stuff from the like insider, but he was saying basically that there's rumors within the team that Jalen's refusing things, Jalen's this, Jalen's that. Like some of the people inside the building believe that Tanner McKee might be a better fit than Jalen, all this shit. Well, we found out it was fucking Kevin Patullo's dumbass. He needs to be out. ID card not to work to be able to sign back into the facility. Yeah, man. I cannot. And if he isn't fired, then at this point, Nick Sirianni needs to go because that's Nick's next guy. You cannot keep someone that is a cancer like that within the building and think that this team is going to move forward.
Yeah.
I'm happy he's gone. I'm happy that we're starting our search. I think that I would love to see. I think it was obviously Mike McDaniels, but then there was also someone else I'm thinking about. Dayball. I would love to have Dayball. Simply because of his connection to Nick. They both were coaches. Dayball was the OC and Nick was the quarterback coach in Kansas City for a few years. And then also his time with Saquon in New York, and then his time with 1 year in 2017. His Dayball's only single year college coaching was for Jalen in 2017 when Jalen was a starter, but then ultimately getting replaced by Tua in the championship. I think that Dayball is a quarterback whisperer. He's turned around Josh Allen's career. He helped and did as much as he could with Danny Dimes. So I'm excited, man. Hopefully, we get someone that is a seasoned offense coordinator that's been calling plays for a long time. And also, to be honest, we are very I mean, obviously I'm biased, but I believe with the offense and the roster that we have, we're a highly sought after spot for an OC.
I was about to say that.
2 out of 3 of our OCs, or two out of 3 or 2 out of 4, have gone on to get hired for head coaching positions.
Hmm.
So, since Nick Sirianni took over. So, yeah, man, I think that we have a bright future still. All these guys are locked up till 2028 or 2029, I believe. So, our window is still wide open. I'm excited for the future. It's go Sixers, for now on this pod for P.
That's right. Yeah, man. There's a lot of talent for sure for the Eagles. It was disappointing. No, I was rooting for you guys also. Um, sucks to see. I mean, there's also like some plays you can't really like plan too much for, like the Jawan Jennings throw. Who the fuck would have predicted that?
But like
But
what, bro?
yeah, that shit was crazy. But yeah, disappointing. And like you said, it's going to be a super sought after job with Philly, the recent success that they've had, the players that they have. Who doesn't want to coach a Saquon Barkley,
Hmm.
a former Super Bowl MVP, and Jalen Hurts? I mean, there was a lot left to like be desired on the field, and so disappointing. What are your thoughts on Jake Elliott missing the extra point? I think that would have been a big point to have at the end. Also,
100%. Um, I think I'll never forget what Jake has done for this organization, bringing kicking to be a prominent position again. Because we had the Cody Parkers of the world, as I know Bears fans know about Cody Parker. He was actually with the Eagles before that double doink that he had for you guys.
mhm.
But he has the worst kicking percentage in the playoffs in NFL history. He's 77%,
Yeah.
while the next closest person is 86%. That's unacceptable. Um, I think that we need to bring in competition this summer for him,
Mhm.
so that he could potentially lose his job. Um, not to say that it needs to be a fair competition, but he needs to have something lit under his ass. He's been a captain on our team, our special teams, for the last, I think, either 3 to 5 years.
Mhm.
Um, but it's just unacceptable, man. Like I'm calling him Missy Elliott before he even kicks the ball now. That's
Yeah.
how bad it's gotten. Here,
Miss,
here comes up Missy Elliott.
ready to blow your mind.
No, he's not blowing anything.
No.
Nothing. He is blowing the kicks.
Oh, it was too bad. That was a moment in early in the game where I was like, oof. Hope
Yeah.
that, hope that doesn't come back to bite
There
him.
was no pressure. There's no pressure at that point. Um, so yeah, just really, really frustrated because I like Jake Elliott, man.
Mhm.
And like I want to like him. I want him to be a similar trajectory as David Akers, and be able to go off on his own free will, with the Eagles. But you can't be doing this to us and putting us behind the 8 ball. That's multiple weeks this year that he's,
Mhm.
because of him missing either extra points or field goals, putting the other team in positions to either win by one or a really close game. So yeah, I'm done with it, man. Um, who else do I want to call out for having, also super underrated for the season that I want to call out, and give some kudos to, is Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis played his ass off
Mhm.
this season. Jalen Carter missed a lot of time, and Jordan Davis picked up the slack. His new weight that he's playing at, his game weight, looked fantastic all season. Um, that season won't go unnoticed from the real Eagles fans. JD, appreciate you. You didn't get a Pro Bowl nod like you should have. But happy that you were here. Now the opposite, who I want to shout out that had a fucking horrible year. Um, Cam Jurgens,
Mhm.
talking to you. Get healthy on the offseason, big dog, because you fucking sucked this year. And somehow you made a Pro Bowl. Don't know how that happened. I feel like they're still living off the essence of what Jason Kelsey was, and Philly having a good center, and you were supposed to be the guy that Jason picked because you actually had a dog shit season, and because of that, our running game struggled a lot. So I need our offensive line to come back healthy, getting a lot more rest this year than you got last year, and be ready to roll because
Mhm.
that is not a Stoutland University offensive line that you guys put out this year. And
Yeah.
honestly, I know I just called out Cam, but I want to call it that whole unit, to figure it the fuck out. So,
Mhm. Is
um,
Lane Johnson coming back?
Hopefully, man. I would be remiss to think that Lane would go let a Liz Frank injury that kept him out that last game as well as majority of the end of the season, like the last month, I'd say month and a half. I refuse to believe that he would just go out like that, retire like that. Um, got a lot of good ball left in him. He was dominant as hell before getting injured. I guarantee he'll still make the NFL top 100. I guarantee that.
Yeah.
From the players' actual votes. So yeah, man, I'm just not rocking with. I'm not rocking with that with our O line this year, and that probably plays a huge part into it too. Having their leader and captain, Lynn Johnson out there,
Hmm.
dude, we're like 60 to 70% win percentage when Lane plays, and then we're like 4-20 when he doesn't, or some stupid shit since he's been drafted. Like it's just nonsensical. However, with that being said, hey, Howie, draft his replacement. He's old as shit. Let him retire and do what the fuck he wants with his kids. All right. Well, I don't know if he has kids, but nonetheless,
Let him live his life.
let him live his life.
He's
Like
earned it.
he's earned it. He should not be having to worry. I've stood up. Otherwise, his beloved Eagles are going to lose. Get it together, Howie. Um. So yeah, that's my take on the birds.
Well, a lot to build on for the next season, and
Hmm.
those deficiencies are few, but something for Howie to work on. So I'm sure the Eagles will be right back on top of the NFC East next season, make it a three-peat. Got to set a new precedent in this division. Um, I think that's a possibility.
Hmm. I definitely agree with that. I think that um. Well, obviously Dallas will be better if they resign George Pickens. I think that having a second year with that duo is going to be nasty. But we'll see what happens with that. And then I think, I mean, the whole division is just going to be way better because James going to be coming back healthy, coming into his third year. And then Jackson Dart is going to be getting his Bash brother back with his running back and Scat. And yeah, I think the division is going to be because we finally have a division of four actual Pro Bowl level quarterbacks again,
Yeah,
which is scary to think about. But I still pick our roster over anyone in the NFC East. So until further notice, NFC East runs through Philly.
that's right.
I know we have a little bit more time. We have about like 5 to 10 minutes. Let's go ahead and
Let's just run through some of these games.
touch on your guy A-Rod real quick.
My now good friend Aaron Rodgers going out
Uh,
real sad. Fumble,
pick
scoop, and
six.
score, and a pick six as his final pass attempt in the NFL.
Uh-huh.
You hate to see it.
Hate to see
Really
that.
hate to see it. It's a real shame for Pittsburgh. Not only that, they also had Mike Tomlin step down as the head
Mm-hmm.
coach.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows what the future of Pittsburgh is really going to look like? Um, TJ Watt's not getting any younger.
Mm-mm.
Um, I mean, who knows what happens with DK? I think he may have signed a multi-year deal.
If
So
I
it
was
would be
DK, I'd be pissed. Not only are you most likely losing Aaron Rodgers because he's not going to play for not Mike Tomlin at this point. He's not going to be there for a rebuild. You're like you said, your defense is old. Like this will probably be the last year for I'm forgetting their
Hayward.
nose tackle. Yeah, thank you, Cameron Hayward.
That's right.
He'll retire. Like that defense is old, man. Like
Hmm.
this is going to be a fire sale of players. Watch for the Steelers to make a lot of trades this offseason
Yeah,
for old and aging players to get contracts off their books because dude, they're going to have to do a full rebuild because what is the what is the Pittsburgh Steelers without Mike Tomlin? It's been so long.
I don't know. I don't know. Pittsburgh
What would they
Steelers
look like?
plan or Bill
Is it,
Cowher. I don't know.
that's our whole life
None of
right
us
there.
do.
Yeah. So they're gonna have to change their entire mentality, playbook, defensive like culture, like everything is going to change in Pittsburgh. Um, so this is just a, it's good. I think it's gonna be a shit show to be honest
It's a massive
for next
identity
season.
crisis.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have an identity crisis because like who at this point are you hiring? Like who's the young coach that they're gonna be able to have for the next decade to 15 years?
I don't know, man. There isn't another Ben Johnson in this cycle.
Like, like if anything, they should have done the shit last year. I guarantee you Ben would have taken Pittsburgh. as one of those top organizations because he knew then he'd be
Hmm.
able to stay there. Like, not to say that Chicago isn't great of a selection. He probably want to stay in the NFC North anyway. But if playing devil's advocate, like the Steelers have only had four head coaches in their entire like
Right. They don't fire
running
coaches.
exactly. So I think any head coach would love to have that type of runway and belief from the ownership. So
Hmm.
we'll see who they pick, man. That's a crazy situation coming out of Pittsburgh. Salute to Mike Tomlin. And I saw a note on him stepping down. He's key words step down.
Yeah.
So he did the Steelers a nod because similar to Sean Payton with the Saints, he'll
Take
probably
a
take a
break.
year off and then maybe 2 years. And
Hmm.
then when he gets the rumblings back of wanting to come back to coaching, whoever tries to pick him up will have to
Trade.
trade for him. So did the Steelers a nod by at least probably getting trade bait from whoever it may be.
Hmm.
And from this point, look at it's worked out for uh the Denver Broncos.
Number one seed now.
Number one seed. That pick didn't hurt them. I think they traded what, a first and like a second or something like that, first and a third, something. They traded something good,
Hmm.
and they're still in the running as the number one seed in the playoffs. So it's worth to get that coach. And as we've seen with the turnaround from the Bears, even turnaround for the Vikings, like KOC is a good coach. Turnaround for the Chargers. I know they got
They got
no, they
bounced.
won, didn't they? I don't think they got bounced.
They
Yeah, they
lost
got
to
bounced.
Patriots.
But still, like the mentality of those all those teams with those new coaches is completely different. So
Hmm.
we'll see what happens with that, man. Moving on to I want to talk about the Trevor Lawrence game more than I want to talk about the Rams game.
He was looking pretty good, but he had two interceptions, one in each half, that kind of killed any sort of momentum to really step on Buffalo's throats. Because it was pretty back and forth, but if had they scored on those two drives where he was trying to throw it down the field, it would have been a different ball game.
Hmm.
That last one was obviously super backbreaking. Buffalo got the ball down to the 1 yard line with like 40 seconds left, and they let him score. Um, and then yeah, just on the very first play, play from scrimmage, just throwing it up the middle and gets picked off. I feel bad for our resident Jaguars fan, Sonny over here. Completely unprovoked, started making really sad noises when that happened. She knows ball. She knew it was over.
Steelers ball. It was so good to see that reporter reach out to Liam Cohen and offer her condolences. You're a weirdo if you think that it was unprofessional for her to do that.
I agree.
Um, and she went on TV like the next day or something on like the Jacksonville local like news network and talked her shit. It was cool to see that. She's like,
Hmm.
I've been in the Associated Press and this and that and Philly and starting to name of all these other cities for like 20, 25 years. So I love that she had her moment in the sun to talk her shit too. Um, yeah, man. I feel like every year it's either it's both of them usually the Jags and the Chargers. They're just not able to get over that hump. They'll have hell of a seasons, go on some crazy runs, and then just get dropped in the first round. If all years to be able to make a really good run with not having Pat, Lamar, or Burrow in the playoffs, for you guys to not win those games as the franchise, they're supposed to be like the prototypical quarterbacks,
Hmm.
and a lot of people putting them above Jalen Hurts. For y'all to not get out of that first round is just despicable to me. Um, so that's all I have to
Too
say about
bad.
that.
I like to give Liam Cohen some credit because they were 4-13 last season and got
Absolutely.
to this point.
Yeah.
So they'll probably build off this and they'll have a good season next season, I believe. I don't see a reason why they wouldn't. But yeah, it
Hmm.
was a total letdown. You had the Bills, the only other like quarterback that you could maybe throw into that AFC quarterback club,
Hmm.
like on the
And I guess
road.
and that does suck that they got them the first seed, right, for the Jaguars, but
Yeah,
the fucking Chargers have no excuse.
correct. So too bad we got a sad fan over here, but
Sorry, Sonny.
time for Josh Allen to prove it if we really want him to believe it or want
I,
us to believe it.
yeah, I don't believe in it, man. I don't know. They didn't look dominating at any point. At least he didn't. The defense was flying around, but um, yeah, man, I'm waiting to see with Josh still. So we'll see with that.
Same. Well, let's see. I don't have shit to say about the Patriots, and
No, I think the Patriots are frauds, to be honest.
I agree.
I think
So
they're gonna get
that's
bounced.
our analysis.
I think they're gonna get bounced.
I
So
feel sad for Khalil Mack. That's it.
what happened to Khalil Mack? Oh, he got hurt,
He
didn't
was
he?
on the Chargers. He's just been there since the Bears.
Oh.
Sucks. Come home. Help us out.
He originally got drafted by the Raiders, correct?
That's right.
And then from Raiders to Chicago, Chicago back to LA.
Hmm.
Gotcha. Yeah, he probably just wanted to get back to California, which is crazy because it's like he's paying so much money in taxes.
That's right. Get that weather though. That weather. And the only other game was the Panthers and the Rams.
Hmm.
Sad to see. Fuck, what's his name? Quarterback, Panthers. I
Bryce
feel
Young.
bad. Bryce Young. Sad to see him go out four straight incompletions to maybe like put them in a position to win. Exciting game. A lot of lead changes. Um, quick shout out and somebody to keep an eye on for the matchup next week, this Sunday, I should say. Puka Nakua was a hell of a cornerback in that one play that stopped that interception in the end zone.
Yeah.
That was really the play of the game. That was the game.
Hmm.
He doesn't do that. That's an interception. They don't score that go ahead touchdown, and it's over.
So you're saying in general, watch out for him. He's a heads up player,
He's a
type of
heads up
guy.
player. I don't think they really needed me to say that. But if they weren't like already considering Puka Nakua, I think he might be an issue. It's a big problem.
They're definitely, but the thing is, you guys have good corner play to be able to match up well with him. So I think you guys are going to be all right in that department, as well as CJGJ brings that thump to him when he's playing from the safety position or the slot. So
That's right.
I believe in you guys.
I'm hoping that he clears a concussion protocol because he didn't see the field this past game, CD Deuce.
You probably
But
will.
having Kyler Gordon, I'm feeling good about it.
Yeah.
So
Welcome back from injury.
hell yeah, good to see him out there. Good to see him almost make that game-swinging interception.
Hmm.
Dropped it. Would have been nice to see that one interception on the final stat line of Jordan Love, but to hold that L just as good. Um, so that's all I got for this week. Peyton, any closing thoughts? Any final words on the Many Last Words podcast?
Go Birds, go Sixers, go Phils, go Flyers.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah,
All right. Well, Peyton, thanks for joining me on another episode. I'm sure the fans
always.
will get their service. We'll get every single aspect of our emotions and reactions. And I appreciate you.
I love you. Please, to all of our fans at home, like, subscribe, comment. Does as well.
Would be nice.
Love
I love you too. All right.
you,
I'll talk
brother.
to you later. All right, so that was a really fun time talking about the NFL playoffs after the wild card weekend. Um, and the reason I'm making this second little segment at the end of the podcast, I haven't really talked about the Cubs since the wrap up after we lost to Milwaukee in the NLDS. The Cubs made some moves, and throughout the past week or so, the news came out that we acquired the pitcher from Miami. His name is escaping me. Edward Cabrera, 27-year-old right-hander, had a pretty decent season last season. 8-7, which obviously wins and losses are not a pitcher stat. 3.53 ERA. Solid arm to add on to the rotation wherever that might be, wherever he fits in there, whether he's number two, number three behind Cade Horton and Matthew Boyd. Obviously, Justin Steele's going to take a little bit more time to come back off the IL. I think that's going to be a really good addition to the rotation. I'd love to see Jed Hoyer make a move. Obviously, starting pitching was a focal point of why we collapsed in the NLDS, and it's going to be something that's going to put us, obviously it's an improvement for the lineup. We're not going to have to. Somebody's biting me over here. Not going to have to fight back from any sort of deficits like we did. Love to see another move being made for the bullpen and just solidify, those late innings, knowing that we aren't going to have to score even more runs if we have a lead. And that would be something that really secures us, secures the position for this team. It'll, you know, put us in a better position to fight off Milwaukee. That's something that they were exploiting very much. Our pitching, especially in that game five that happened to be on my birthday, which really sucked. But whatever. It happens. We'll get our get back this season. And then obviously the big signing that just happened this Saturday, or at least got announced on Saturday, during the third quarter of the Bears game, which I thought was really funny timing. We have come to an agreement for, I think it was 5 years, with Alex Bregman. He played the last season with the Boston Red Sox, obviously more notably with the Houston Astros, however many years before that. Um, that's an experienced bat. This guy has performed in the postseason. He's proven. He hit 273, which I think would have been the second best batting average in the team last season. I think that rounds out a pretty good infield between him, Dansby, Nico, and Michael Bush. I'm super excited to have that bat in the lineup. Obviously, you combine all of that with PCA and Seiya Suzuki. I think we have a pretty special lineup going into the new season. I think the Cubs are going to be talked about as one of those teams to watch for the National League. Um, Obviously, Milwaukee's going to be right there. I see this as being, a two-team division. The Cardinals just got rid of Nolan Arenado. Willson Contreras got shipped off to, I think, Boston, if I'm not mistaken. So who knows what they're going to look like. Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. I never really know what you're going to get with them, but they haven't made any moves that have really, intrigued me or made me feel like they're going to be massive competition between, in the NL Central. So just want to get on here and just talk about it, let you guys know my feelings for what it's worth. I do, pay attention to 162 games at minimum every single season and spring training sometimes. Um, oh, Jesus. We got we got some internal struggles with our podcast producer. I'm feeling pretty good about the Cubs. Obviously it's all talk until we get to the season. We shipped off Owen Casey in that Edward Cabrera deal, which I don't super love, but knowing that he's not going to be contributing to the team right away, might as well get somebody that's going to contribute right away in the form of a starting pitcher to solidify our rotation. It was nice to see Shota come back. I don't think I've been on here since that happened. He tested the market. We gave him a good offer, and he took it, which I think was correct. I don't think he was at 100% either of the past couple seasons. It'll be nice to see if he's able to get back on track, and if not, he'd be a great back of the rotation kind of guy. The guy loves the city. Nobody loves you like the team that drafted you or brought you over here. This is the only city and team he's known since he came over from Japan, and I know the fan base is behind him 100%, and that's how we feel about all our players unless they're traitors like Wilson. That's all right though. We remember him fondly. So yeah, just want to get on here and mention that. I do have my eyes on the Cubs. Still looking forward to the 120 first pitches on Fridays at Wrigley. We'll see when I'm able to get out there this season. Um, and yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Thanks again for tuning in. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you think the Cubs are a major player in the NL Central and see if they have improved their chances at maybe dethroning the LA Dodgers. I don't know if that's really the case for anyone. Though, here's the thing, they did go 7 games in the World Series. Can't say anything because they won it, but I don't think the Dodgers are on like such a higher pedestal than all the other upper echelon teams. That they swept the Milwaukee Brewers, but are the Milwaukee Brewers really the best competition for them? I don't know. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the Dodgers. Let me know what you think about the Cubs. I just want to hear from you. Let me know I'm not the only person in this room. I'm not because Sonny's over there. But I have the time to discuss, and I'll be happy to talk some shit. So thanks again for tuning in. Appreciate you, everybody listening all over the world. Here in Mexico, saludos a todos. I think for some reason Australia or New Zealand, I saw in the analytics. Shout out to you guys down under. Appreciate you. And until next time, it's over.